karma, corruption, and ultimate salvation. Welcome to today's deep dive into historical texts. Today's theme is filled with dramatic tension. To be honest, it might even feel counterintuitive. Think about it. A high-ranking official who spent his life extorting others through power, a man fundamentally defect, inept by corruption, receives the highest level of spiritual salvation and liberation at the very end of his life. It sounds impossible. Conventionally, we expect someone who has committed extensive wrongs to face severe punishment. But the ancient historical record we are exploring today shatters that preconception. This is more than just a religious story. It is a profound psychological exploration of human motivation, responsibility, and the excuses we craft for our actions. Are you ready to unravel this cosmic mystery of cause and effect? Let's begin. Our roadmap for today is clear and divided into 4 parts. 2 divergent paths. The moral dilemma of responsibility. Salvation on the deathbed. The extraordinary power of vows. Part 1. 2 divergent parts. The story begins with 2 golden children born into wealthy families. They shared the best resources, studied together, and were brilliant academic peers. However, after completing their education, their lives took a dramatically different turn. On one side, we have Sariputra. After seeing through the vanity of the secular world, he chose the path of a monastic. Under the Buddha's guidance, he eventually became an arhat, renowned as the foremost in wisdom. On the other side, we have his best friend, Dhananjani. He chose the opposite path, politics. He became a powerful minister to the king. But instead of serving the people, he became arrogant, using his position to blackmail citizens and collect exorbitant taxes. He turned into a thoroughly corrupt politician. These 2 parallel lines diverged into extremes of light and darkness. Part 2. The moral dilemma of responsibility. Years later, Sariputra, having achieved great spiritual realization, decided the time was right to help his old friend. He visited Dhananjani's house, but in a striking gesture, he refused to even step through the door. Standing outside, he bluntly pointed out that Dhananjani's current actions were filled with sin. Dhananjani's defense was masterful. He told Sariputra, "I am a layman. I have elderly parents to support, a wife, children, and servants to care for. I am responsible to the king, and I must send offerings to the local deities. If I don't squeeze some wealth from the people, how can I carry these burdens?" Does that sound familiar? It's the same thing we hear today. I did it for the company, or I did it for my family. I had no choice. Dhananjani skillfully packaged his greed as responsibility. But Sariputra wasn't fooled. He asked a soul-piercing question. If you are cast into hell for these responsibilities, and you tell King Yama, the king of hell, that you did it for your parents or your king, do you think he will let you go? He shattered Dhananjani's shield. The laws of the universe are coldly impartial. They don't stop the backlash of karma just because you've draped a sacred excuse over your actions. Overwhelmed with regret, Dhananjani wept, promised to change, and immediately took the 5 precepts. Part 3. Salvation on the Deathbed. The reckoning of karma often arrives more suddenly than we imagine. Some time later, the Nanjani fell terminally ill. Sariputra rushed from the forest to his bedside. The atmosphere was heavy and urgent. The Anandjani described his agony in terrifying detail. His head felt as if it were being crushed by iron bands. His stomach felt as if it were being disemboweled, and his body felt as if it were being dragged through a roaring fire. These visceral pains were metaphors for the blackmail and extortion he had practiced. His past karma was now violently rebounding in his final moments. Sariputra's approach was brilliant. He didn't let his friend sink into terror. Through a series of questions, he pulled Dhananjani's consciousness upward. He asked, "Which is better, hell or the hungry ghost realm? The ghost realm or the animal realm?" Like climbing a ladder, he guided Dhananjani's mind out of lower states of suffering and anchored it in the high realm of Brahmaloka, the Brahma heaven. However, even the wisdom of an arhat has limits. Sariputra's teaching saved Nanjani from hell, but he was still within the cycle of reincarnation, samsara. The truly miraculous event happened after Sariputra. The Buddha himself manifested at Dhananjani's bedside. He taught him the ultimate dharma, allowing Dhananjani to attain the stage of an anagami, non-returner, in his final breath, forever breaking the chains of rebirth. Part 4. The extraordinary power of vows. How? Why? Why does a corrupt official get a VIP spiritual miracle from the Buddha himself? To solve this, we have to look beyond a single lifetime and zoom out to a macro scale. The Buddha later explained to his disciples that this was the work of vows, paranidhana, in a very distant past life. Dhananjani was a poor man who made an offering to a practitioner. His wish then was, "I want to be like those high officials, possessing power and luxury." This explained his corruption in this life. However, in another past life, he was a devout lay disciple. In his final moments, then, he made a pure vow, "May I meet the Buddha Shakyamuni in the future, please him, and create a profound connection."
This reveals the ironic yet precise nature of universal laws. Dhananjani's life was a blueprint he designed himself across time. Because of past ignorance, he pre-ordered worldly wealth and corruption, but because of a single pure thought in another life, he also planted the seed for the Buddha's personal intervention. These two vows matured simultaneously in this lifetime, creating a miracle that seems contradictory on the surface but is logically rigorous beneath. Final reflection. Our thoughts are the architects of our destiny. This ancient text isn't just about a distant miracle, it is a question for us today. Every thought we have, every excuse we make, and every deep desire we harbor is, brick by brick, constructing our future. If intention is the architect of fate, what kind of blueprint are you drawing today? I hope today's analysis brings you profound inspiration. We'll see you next time.